Do you think trading can be done with just support and resistance? Resistance can become support, and support can also become resistance. Support and resistance becomes more clear also based on intensity. Today's webinar is going to be about can you actually use just support and resistance to trade? Okay, now support and resistance, the age-old thing, the thing people refer to as simple. The thing people refer to as, I don't need that. This is for newbies. But today we're going to change that. So what we have in the agenda for today is I'm going to walk you through on what actually is support and resistance. How do you trade support and resistance? How do you draw support and resistance? And then finally, when should you use it and when should you not use it? So let me ask all of you guys this question. Do you think trading can be done with just support and resistance as a technical thing? So I'm going to explain a way on how we at Urban Forex, we approach support and resistance. And I want you to then answer that question of, how much of it is relying on support and resistance and how much of it is not? But at the end of this webinar, you will walk away with, I know how to trade support and resistance. All right, here we go. So what is support and resistance? And more importantly, why? Why is it so important? It is a representation of where prices constantly respond from. So let's say prices constantly respond from, this is $10, okay? And if you're in Forex, Euro USD, maybe the price might be $1.65, whatever it may be. So it's like, oh, around $1.65, around, it keeps bouncing. It moves away. So you're like, okay, roughly thereabouts, I have resistance. Roughly thereabout, I have support. Now, many of you guys might be asking, how do I know how many touches do I need to confirm, is it a resistance or is it a support? Good question. Let's answer that right now before we go deeper. Let's answer that right now. There is no right answer to that. Here's why. I want all of you guys to think, is this support resistance a good one or is the blue one a good one? Think about it. A lot of you guys are now saying red. The reason why the red one is powerful is because from the red one, you can actually see the movement away from that area is aggressive. That aggression sort of tells you what happened at that level that someone hit it so hard. What happened there? Okay, so support and resistance becomes more clear also based on intensity. If the intensity is good, it will be much more valid. Okay.
Now, are you curious about the exact strategy Naveen has been using to approach the markets? The Mastering Price Action course reveals all of that. In that course, you're going to understand the logic behind each price action movement. And from that, you will be able to take your trading to the next level by having a much more solid understanding of the markets. And because you're a subscriber, just click on the link in the description below to access our exclusive discount. Time to take your trading to the next level. All right, let's get back to the video.
Moving forward. So support and resistance is basically an idea of prices keep coming to an area and they push away. They keep coming to an area, they push away. Keep coming to an area, they push away. And you're like, hey, this area keeps pushing away, right? If this area keeps pushing away, then we say there is a resistance above us. If that area gets violated, just notice how it gets violated. If it flies right through, that means there's so much pressure that went through it that there's a high chance it will hold. However, it's slightly different if it does this. I don't want you to be looking at that and say, I'm going to do a buy. Don't do it like that. Let it move away first. Let it move away to confirm it's actually breaking and not saying, oh, the resistance is still alive. You need to make sure of that. So don't be so anxious to be like, buy. Don't buy it so quickly. All right. Now, let's move it even further. So this is an example of resistance. Now I'm going to give you an example of support. Prices are coming down, they pull back. Prices are coming down, they pull back. Prices are coming down, they push up. So what has happened is what used to have resistance above you, see here, no violation of that resistance. Then it makes a new low, resistance above you. Hey, nice use of the resistance. But then where is my follow through? There's no lower low after touching that resistance. Support starts to hold. When it pops up through it, That resistance that was there before has now become support, as I have drawn in a slightly darker color, in a red color. Okay? Does that make sense? So you can see signs of support like that, but resistance can become support, and support can also become resistance, depending on it was holding and then it popped through and now it's holding on the other side. Okay, so what support and resistance is, now you guys know. You guys know. It is basically a visual barrier that we see. We keep seeing again and again, it touches, it moves away. It touches, it moves away. It touches, it moves away. But what I want you to understand is it's always that vicinity. If you say around $1.60, the prices move away, that's why I say don't buy if it goes slightly higher, because it's still in that same vicinity. It can still be resistance, resistance, resistance. Okay? It needs to move away where you're like, whoa, $1.65? Okay, that resistance is probably support now. Good enough? So what support and resistance is, now it should be a little bit better for you. It is just a visual indication of there's something there, like a wall. Okay? Either I need to have a strategy that breaks that wall, or in my opinion, I would love to have a strategy that tries to trade off that wall. Let's move into a little bit deeper. Okay, so why is it used? I'm going to put you in the mind of a big boy for a moment. Why am I taking you in the mind of a big boy? It's because a big boy has a different disadvantage compared to you and I. Okay, you and I, we trade in numbers anywhere between $100 all the way up to $10 million. But a big boy doesn't have that luxury to trade small. He's unfortunately has a different set of problems by having too much money. He has a large amount, let's say in the billions, let's say $2 billion. Let's say all of us are selling, okay? All of us are selling. We have a pullback and we see a resistance and we're like, yeah, we're gonna sell. You, me, everybody in this room. Sunny is gonna sell, Dan is gonna sell, Noel's gonna sell, Leonard's gonna sell, Aaron's gonna sell. We're all gonna sell. Okay, Advait, he's gonna sell. We're all gonna sell, and we sell. Now, generally, with the sell idea, we say, just like this is a aggressive move away from what could have been a previous level of support. He moved away so fast, right? So we say, we're gonna do a sell off of here, but this was also an area where they moved up from here. So there is support below us. Look how far it went from here to there. Oh yeah, there's support below us. We need to exit there. Okay, so I'm gonna put you in a story state of mind. Ready? So all of the names I've listed, okay, Sunny, Yavor, Nader, William, Lucas, all of you guys who are selling, let's say you're selling 400 million. Yeah, that's a lot, right? You're gonna get there. Don't worry, you got this. Okay, 400 million, you're selling big size, okay? But that big size is not comparable to what he needs. And the big boy wants to buy. If you are coming down to this area and if he hits the buy order, the prices will do this. Now, all of you guys, very quickly, think about it for a minute. If a big boy wants to buy and if he buys and the price does this, is that good for him or bad for him? Think about that. I want you to also think about, why did price move? Don't think about, oh, because there was a support there. I want you to think about, why did the price move to begin with? Is because he hit the buy so big that not only did he eat the whole 400 million that was down in this area in the profit, that he showed he wants to buy so much that the prices started to fly up because there's no seller in sight. So if the buyer wants to buy and the price has come down to here, we're all thinking it's support, we need to exit. The buyer knows that there are some sellers coming in and he says they're most likely gonna exit here. So slightly before it gets to the bottom, the buyer puts in some buy orders right there. Just slightly below, he puts in some buy orders. He takes 100 million off the table. And then towards here, it starts to bounce a little bit. Now, when it starts to bounce a little bit, all of us who are selling from up here, we're like, crap, I was aiming for down here, but it's moving already. Close more. Now the price slides up higher. Now the big boy's like, crap, it's going up higher. I don't want those dirty prices. I need a good price lower. I need a good price lower. He will remove his buy orders. In fact, he might even sell a little bit. And when it comes down aggressively, you know what's going to happen? The people who are selling here and who exited here, they're now going to get aggressive thinking, oh, it's still working. And they will sell even more here. They will sell more. What happens when a retail trader has a winning trade? Is his next trade smaller or bigger? Think about it. Is he saying, I made $200 right now off of one standard lot. The next trade, I will trade one mini lot. Does he do that? Or does he or she ever do that? It's in fact the opposite. He will go bigger, much bigger, as much as things can allow, because he thinks whatever I thought is working, go bigger. As he goes bigger, the big boy starts to buy a bit more. He puts in his buy orders, buys a bit more, buys a bit more, buys a bit more. And as he's buying a bit more, there are people on the sidelines who are watching this support. They're watching that support and they're saying, I see a big boy operating off of that support. As the sellers are removing their money, the big boy is starting to add in his money and take as many orders as he can. The people on the sidelines who are now in this color, in dark green, they are now saying, I know what the big boy is doing. I'm going to buy also. What they do is they start piling on. The smart money starts piling on, causing the price to leave sooner rather than later. And the big boy is like, well, I did my best. I got in 70% of my money. I couldn't get filled all the way, but when do I ever get filled all the way? It's not possible. Let's now go back to, for you to trade, you need movement, right? If your movement is in the right direction, you make money. Okay, this is a fundamental formula that we have. Now, if I just have a line and I say, I'm going to buy if the price comes here, can you guarantee me there will be movement? No, you cannot. You cannot guarantee me this unless you see something prior that says, whoa, oh, that's hot. That's hot. That's a very aggressive one. That's hot. I like that. Now you have movement behind you. Now the rest of the possibilities come to life. But if you have something like this, okay, and I do that, or I do that, and you say, oh, that's a support resistance. That's a support resistance on the 1 minute. Well, on the 1 minute, it looks so beautiful. Try buying that. This time, the support resistance doesn't help you because it's not the line that you are trading. You are trading the knowledge of what is my big boy going through. He was suffering here. He's suffering less. That means his orders are filled. Who's left to move the market? We can't. Now, let's go in a little bit deeper here. Let me bring it into the chart mode. All right. Now, we're looking at a chart and we're seeing a movement that is holding in this area. It's hanging around, okay? There is a level of support here. This is tilted support, okay? That support then gets drastically broken. The first thing I want you to think of is, looks like a larger player wanted to sell, but he didn't get all of his orders filled. When did the selling begin? It began here. He's never done it before because before it was sideways. So from sideways, it just went down. That means he just started and the poor guy is pissed off. Okay, he's very angry. He's like, I didn't get filled. All the damn smart traders, they jumped in with their little $1,000, $100 or $100,000 and they're taking all my sell orders. Okay, he steps away and now there's a next part that says, if I can get the price here, I want to hit the sell again because a larger player still wants a good price. He doesn't want to sell down here. He wants to sell at a better rate so he can make more money, right? So he needs to sell at a better rate. So there are people like us, we are saying, I want to see, I know where the level is. This level is clear. I can see there's a strong level there. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw this level like that. And I'm going to say, am I supposed to draw my level like that on the body? Am I supposed to draw my level like that on the tail? Am I supposed to draw my level on this one? Am I supposed to combine the two and make a mix and match jambalaya? Am I supposed to draw a box around it and call it a zone? I want you to understand all this is later. The priority is there's a level here somewhere because of the story that has just unfolded. Do not forget that. That's where it begins. There is a level here. Why is this level important? Let me take you up a time frame. Do you think the 4-hour notices this level as well? We were on the 60, now we're on the 4-hour. Hey, they see it too. That's interesting. Okay, let me take it up to a daily. Well, would you look at that? The daily looks at it too. The daily is not using the tail of it, they're using the body of it. I'm talking about, is there somebody there? Okay, we started on the 60, but then we saw the 4-hour sees it and the daily. Let me go back to the 60. I want to show you a little technique. You see this SNR here, right there. That looks like, oh, that's drawn nicely. Resistance and support. I'm going to take it up to the 4 hours, and on the 4 hours, I want you to tell me, does that look like a good line? Not at all. It seems like it's violated. It's going through it, in and out. Okay, let me take you up to the daily. That's nothing on the daily. In fact, maybe it gets lucky because of that. But it's actually nothing because it was drawn from an area that only the smaller time frame sees. It is not important to anybody else. So I want you to put emphasis on who's watching this. Is it important to many people? Is it aggressive? Then we begin the journey of, all right, okay, how do we draw this? And more importantly, does it matter how we draw this? Very interesting. Think about that for a second. I'm going to take you back to the 60 and I'll show you this now. Now you have a level and you're like, okay, there's a big boy that is unfortunately really upset. Prices are dropping. If we can get the price up to it, I'd love to sell it. Now prices are coming up to it. Boom, boom. And now you're thinking, what's he gonna do? I drew my line like this. I could have drawn my line like that. I could have drawn my line like that. I'm not interested in having half a pip stop loss. I'm not here for a beauty contest on YouTube. So we are now watching this and saying, the line is hereabouts. I'm sure it's here somewhere. As the prices are coming up and they're like, is he hitting it? I want you to observe the candles coming up. Look at the candle here. This size. Look at the next candle. That size with the tail on the bottom. Look at the next candle. Bigger. Whoa. What's up with the speed, buddy? Calm down. Look at the next candle. Whoa. If my seller is here somewhere, I want to see it. So the first thing he does is the following candle around our line says, I'm tired. I now have for the first time, I have a smaller size candle. That's when you get your first indication of he's here, okay? Can't give away all the good stuff all in one day. So tell me up until right now, how much of it would you say, wow, support and resistance, next level stuff, man, next level stuff. It's not just a line that preschoolers draw. There's so much more to it. Thanks for coming in, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers. Bye for now.